Hello and welcome back. This is Ben here from Supercoach Insider. You can find us SC Insider 100 on Facebook, on Twitter, all the audio platforms, as well as obviously on the YouTube. Now, today I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on my team. Not great news, guys. I've got Caldwell. Interesting there, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an update. Shout out if you are looking for some other advice. There was the Q&A mailbag section for Jock Reynolds. Go see the Jock, look them up, Jock Reynolds, check out their Q&A there. I joined them just before going to live recording here, guys, so check them out as well. Right, now my team, it's a little bit of an interesting one. Obviously, I had to burn the Dangerfield last week. I went Dangerfield to Walsh. Not too upset. Walsh missed out on a free kick for holding the ball, which would have been an inside 50, would have taken him over that 110 bracket. 113.5 in losses, I'm not too upset with. So I think he is still someone that if you have some big issues, Walsh is definitely a good option to have. My side's looking pretty good. I went early on bringing in Jordan, and I got rid of my loopholing rookie just because after Lockie Neal had a bad round, I wanted to free up some options for this week. So I actually got rid of my loophole and brought in Jordan early. And that's given me, I was meant to have a lot of options, but now with Caldwell being injured, I'm really torn on what to do. Now, I am one person who is considering Tex Walker, simply because I have Caldwell. Any Caldwell owners, because he's injured, I would probably actually consider bringing in Tex. And the reason is, Adelaide actually have a good few rounds ahead. They play the Suns, they play North, they play Freo, and they play Hawks. If he goes 80 the next 2 weeks, he makes 125k. So I'm looking to turn my bad Caldwell situation into a little mini victory and take the risk there. If your team's looking pretty good, I don't see the point so much in going from a Dow to an Impy because you're sidewaysing. I'd rather try and look elsewhere for those. Just try and maximize the profit you can get without burning someone sideways. So Dow to Impy isn't worth it in my opinion. I think Dow's going at least up 100k. Will Impy go up 250k? I don't think so. Really happy that I have Impy though. My MVP of the week, really happy there. Happy with my side. Now, Neal I am considering to get rid of. My only issue is I've already used 2 trades, one for danger, one to bring in Jordan. So one for suspension and one as a correction. Now, these are my options, and this is what I'm considering. It's a bit funny. Now, I can't quite go from Caldwell straight up to Ridley. I would love it. The only way I kind of get close is if I get rid of Braun and bring in a 102k rookie like McNeil. I don't think it's worth it for me. It's going to be hard. And Braun, we don't even know if he's going to get named until probably Saturday night, so it's a bit late there anyway. So it's an interesting one. Now, I do really want Ridley. Ridley is the guy I'm looking to get in as soon as possible. I would love to get him in this week. I would actually consider going Lockie Neal to Ridley, bringing in Clark into my midfield, which would make my midfield a bit sketchy for now, and going Caldwell to Tex. Now, if I did that, I would actually have $380,000. And the only way this would work, and it would kind of suck momentarily, is if Tex went on a heater for, say, 3 games. After that 3rd round, I then go Tex up to a premium, a 600k player for 150k or less. I still then have 200k, and I could go Clark, who by that stage is hopefully 300, 350. I could then get another premium. Now, the risk for that is I'm actually then burning multiple trades, which is stupid, and I kind of don't like it, but I would be able to get an extra 600k premium earlier. So I'll have Ridley, who I think is a must-have. I would then be able to then upgrade Tex to a premium and bring in someone around that 600k mark, and then if Clark kind of goes up a little bit, I can then go from him up to another 550k player there. But that's the aim. If he gets to 300, I have 500,000, which if everything pays off, it could be genius. I could then have 14 premiums or something like that and start to look pretty good, or 13 premiums. That's the interesting one. So I'm probably just going to play it safe. I think with Dangerfield out, with Caldwell out, that's already 2 injury trades. I feel like I can't risk it for the biscuit and get rid of Neal. I think I still want him. I'm a Brisbane supporter. You got to back in the boy. So I'm feeling like Caldwell to Tex might be the play. I'll then have 200,000 in the bank to then be able to make some quick moves and get rid of Tex as soon as possible. Tex is not a keeper. He's not there for a long time. He's there for a short time to get you cash and to move on, right? Impey, I think, is another important one. If you don't have him, try and get him in. Now, if that means that you're not happy with one of your other players, and like Phillips, then maybe you could go Phillips down to Impey. Phillips is not a keeper either. Don't let other people fool you. I was kind of on with Corey from SC Elites, but all Collingwood people know he's a bad kick, and he might go 90 odd, but he's still not going to be a keeper. So for me, I don't mind moving that if you're missing other options there as well. Goulden, again, 100% you need to get. Berry, I think, is a good option as well. Tackles like an absolute mofo. Adelaide need that pressure guy there. Jordan is a good get. Powell still has not a bad role. He's not playing so much midfield, which gives him more security there. So I think that's another good one. Campbell, another must-have. So Goulden, Campbell, must-haves. Warner, if you are struggling, I think Warner's a great option. If he is your F6 or F5, that would work out pretty well. So if you have loaded up with other players, then going a Danaher down to a Warner might be a good option there to free up some cash. But it all depends on what you can do with your side. Now, if you are one of those lucky people who didn't start Neil, well done. Congratulations to you. I did consider it. I had multiple teams with Clary, and I even tossed up before the season saying I could actually have a Titch and an Oliver, a Clary, instead of having a Neil and a Cripps, which would have been the much better option to go, because I'm sure there's some people that have that. So look, just back yourself in. It all depends on the team. If you've avoided all of that, then you're actually sitting pretty good. I am quite happy with my side though. I've got most of the rookies that I need to. And Jordan was the only one I had to bring in. So I've got Impey. I went Impey over Dow, so I'm looking really good there. I didn't get Danaher in, so I'm looking good there. Warner, Campbell. So I can't be too displeased. And I think there's a lot of cash here for me to be made, which is why I'm kind of considering even just saving that Neil trade. And I feel like I don't have to do anything too crazy because I've already got a lot of generation happening there. So look, between now and tomorrow night, I could definitely do something stupid. I'm really waiting on that Bulldogs call. I'm hoping that Scott gets another game because they won a game. So I'm hoping he gets another game there. So I think that's an interesting part for that one. The issues people are having, obviously, Tex and Atkins, etc. I covered that with Jock and also on the podcast this week. So if you're not sure, go and check us out. It's a long video though, so I will try and do some smaller segments on what I'm thinking about with my team. You can let me know in the comment section as well. So comment below, like and subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. I don't know why I'm going sideways. You can't see that. Like, subscribe. Do keep the comments up. We love the interaction with YouTube, which is why you guys actually being so responsive on the line with the comments is why we're actually doing more mini segments. If you weren't so active, we wouldn't actually be getting on and actually putting up more stuff up for you. So again, comment, like, share. Please do get amongst it and involved. Right, now, so if you have any questions, post it below. Chris and myself will get to that as well, and so try and answer some of those comments for you. So it's interesting. Now, the thing I am concerned with my side, Luke Ryan, I wish I didn't start him. I wish I started Ridley instead. I would be so much better off for it. Little concerning. So I'm not sure if Young is killing his vibe a little bit. Some kick-outs and getting him to kick a bit more, or maybe because they were so injured that he's having to play a bit taller. I'm hoping that when some of these guys come back, hopefully for Fremantle, then Ryan will actually be freed up. And he is a ball magnet. He scores so well for Supercoach when he's on point. So I'm hoping that turns around. A little bit concerned at the moment. So that's the interesting one there. Rao is the other one. If I bring in Tex, right, so Caldwell out, Tex in, I actually then play Berry on field, which is much better than probably Rowe. I could kind of loophole that possibly some weeks as well to see if I'll take Rowe on field or him not on field. Just that inconsistency. It's going to be great when it pays off, and it's going to hurt you when not. So that's going to be a little bit interesting there. News tonight, Sharp's been dropped, so I think he'll get more opportunities later in the year, and I will use him as a loophole and a swing option at the moment, which is great because, funnily enough, I actually saw Sharp get dropped, and I was like, yes, I can VC Grundy. No, it's the same game. I can't VC this week. So one of those silly mind moments where, I thought everything was actually looking good. So let me know what you think about my side. Let me know what you're thinking about doing this week. Should I hold Neil? Should I trade him? Everyone's on the fence. Everyone who wants to trade is going to tell you it's the best thing to do. Trade him up, trade him up, trade him up. And then other people are going to be saying, no, it's a bad move. You need to hold all your premiums. And I'm telling you, it's either way, depending on your side, depending on what you can do with it. I can actually go Neil and Caldwell to Clary and to Ridley and still have $20,000 in the bank. It's tempting. It's very tempting. I can go Caldwell and Neil to 2 premiums in Ridley and Oliver. Yeah, it's tempting because I've got some money in the bank. So it's one of those funny ones where, more points on field. Would I like Neil back? Yes, I would. My only concern is that if Neil drops in, say, 3 weeks' time and starts going well again, I'm not going to be able to get him. What am I relying on? Clark to go big. If I did that, I wouldn't be able to get Tex, so I'd have to be trying to upgrade, Impey or doing 3 trades just to get Neil in, which then kind of isn't worth it. So it's one of those funny ones where if I feel like if I'm going to do it, I need to get rid of him. I need to do the Ridley for Neil and Tex, and then that way that would actually free up the opportunity to get Neil at a later stage. Now, the people I am looking at Tom Mitchell, not for this week because I think he might get tagged from Geelong. Good news is Mitch Duncan looks like he's going to play, so that's an interesting one there. And I'm also looking at Clary. Now, it's not just yet, but I'm looking at them for when they play these easier teams, which is coming up. So I'm going to have a quick look now. So if I go and filter this in and I go for Melbourne. Now, they actually play Hawthorn, which I think Clary should do pretty well against anyway. So that's in, round 5? So they play the Giants, which I think Giants will respond a bit better. After Richmond, though, they play North, Sydney, Carlton, Adelaide. I kind of want to be on board for that. North, Sydney, Carlton, Adelaide. Particularly North and Adelaide, I feel Clary could really towel up and get those big scores that we know he does. Every year he does it. They play Adelaide twice, which is why I kind of want to get him. I'm hoping he has a quieter game this week or next week and then free it up to bring him in around that North Melbourne game. I would be looking at trying to upgrade him if I can. If you don't have him already, that's why he appeals to me. So that's number one. Number one is I'm looking at Oliver for that reason. If he goes well and gets those couple of big 180 scores or 170 scores, everyone's going to want to bring him in anyway, except they've already missed the boat. That's why I'm kind of looking ahead to try and get these guys. Next one is Titch. Now, Titch might get tagged this week by Geelong. Then they play Fremantle, Melbourne, and then they go Adelaide, Saints, West Coast, North, Carlton, Suns, Sydney, Essendon, and then GWS. So we look at that and go, okay, so Adelaide, they're playing soon. Fremantle, he should do pretty well. They have quite a lot of other people there that hunt the ball at Freo, so he should be kind of okay there. Melbourne, they'll probably just go head-to-head. It shouldn't be too much of an issue there. Adelaide, he could towel up. Saints, they just kind of back themselves in there as well. West Coast will be the interesting one. Then North Melbourne. So North Melbourne, he'll probably towel up big time. Carlton, now they've got a different mix in that midfield. They'll probably go a bit more head-to-head as well. Suns he could do well against. Sydney, I feel like he could do fairly well against, possibly, as long as there's not too much attention. And Essendon are completely depleted. They'll probably have some players back at that point. But again, Titch will probably do what he did in the last game and get another 130 there. Giants are a bit depleted as well. They're just a lot of inside mids, so head-to-head probably not a bad thing there. De Boer might go to him, but I think he's playing more. De Boer's playing a little bit more forward generally or defensive. He did play midfield this week though, which was concerning. Push my man Josh Kelly out of there. And Josh Kelly, my man, I already had a big rage of this on the podcast this week, but their best user, their best player, playing on the wing and out of the forward line, it's stupid. I'm hoping such an embarrassing loss, and he's probably coming out of contract soon. Put him in that midfield. What happened to winning the time trial, being fitter than ever? I'm hoping it was just because he was a bit banged up week 1. They went to over to Perth, over to Fremantle, and maybe they just took it a little bit easier because he killed the first half and then maybe went, right, who knows? Maybe the travel, hopefully that doesn't continue. So, interesting one there. I've got to hold him at this point in time. So that's my team. Henry is a pain in my ass at the moment. Hopefully he gets another opportunity, not named for tomorrow night. It's going to be painful. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you would, for those doing draft as well, let me know. I did do a little on Facebook and on Twitter, a little bit of a waiver wire watch whether we convert that into a video where I go through all my draft leagues and have a look at those that are available and those that I'm considering. If you play draft and you're interested in that little draft segment each week, let me know. I'm trying to keep it to 15 minutes and under, so that way it's nice and short and sweet, perfect for YouTube. Let us know what you think. Anyway, a little bit of a shout out for tonight. Catch you later. Like, subscribe, SC Insider 100. This is Ben, and bless your weekend, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.